Recording in progress indeed. Welcome everyone over here, OB Talkwire, episode number 17 with Eric Hughes. Eric, first of all, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And you're wearing the Steelers right there. First things first, what's going on with the Steelers right now? Talk about it.
There's a lot going wrong. I think TJ Watt not being there. We can't get a pass rush going, man. Like Cam Hayward's been disappointing without TJ. Now the defense are focusing on him. And then, the corners corners have been all right, but the pass rush can't do anything.
Well, is it really the defense when you look at it? Because the defense is pretty good. I just think your guys' quarterback is the problem.
Oh yeah,
the man they call kissing, kissing nipples. We'll just say that.
I was just gonna get to Mitch actually. Yeah, for the offense, I think he's the main problem because he's not seeing the field very well. He's missing a lot of receivers. George Pickens, man, he's getting open like 9% of the time.
Deontay Johnson was waving his hand up for crying out loud.
Claypool is doing it too, but I'm gonna say something controversial.
You are.
I feel like we're sitting at 3-0 right now if Mason Rudolph's playing instead of Mitch.
Really? You think Mason Rudolph? I don't know Mason Rudolph. I feel like
Mason Rudolph sees the field better than Mitch does.
Well, he has more experience on being on the Steelers team. That's probably why. He's been on them for how many years now? Like 5?
This is his, let's see, drafted in 2018. So this is his 5th year.
5th year, yeah. So he's probably had way more experience just by practice than under Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, he's probably right now the best out of the 3, because Pickett hasn't really been there too long now. When Pickett gets the start, he'll probably be.
I feel great about Kenny Pickett. I just feel like the Steelers' schedule is so tough this year, especially we play the Jets next week, then it gets tough after that.
Yeah.
I'd rather not throw Pickett to the fire like that. I'd rather play Mason because he's a veteran, he's been here longer. And like I said, he sees the field better than Mitch. If you saw the preseason, actually playing pretty well. He was getting the ball to Pickens and all them.
Hey, I'm just glad our Brownies beat you guys right there, 2-1. I mean, we're not. Look, they're probably gonna be 4-2. They should be 3-0 right now. By the time Watson comes back, 11 games? I think they'll probably be sitting at. I won't say dead 500. They'll probably be like a couple games above 500.
It's the comeback against the Texans.
Yeah.
11-week suspension.
Well, that's why they did it, ratings. But I mean, it's the Texans. But then again, the Jets also beat them. So who knows what happens?
See, I mean, the NFL's been crazy so far the first 3 weeks. It's a week by week.
Miami Dolphins are the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and then the Giants and Eagles are the only 2 other undefeated teams.
Until tonight, depending on what happens. I mean, it depends on what happens. But I feel like they have a chance to beat the Cowboys because the Cowboys.
Well, Dak's not playing, so.
Cooper Rush isn't terrible, but he isn't Dak Prescott. You know what I mean?
Right.
Definitely not. But
I think backup quarterbacks have a little bit easier time because there's not as much film on them.
Yeah.
So the first couple games they play, they'll look good, but then after the film's out there on them, then they're pretty easy to stuff.
You have enough film on Cooper Rush for 1 game. You know what I mean? You can probably see what they're going to be doing with it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get to all NFL discussion. That's for ESPN and all the other sports networks right there that cover all the NFL. Let's talk about a little bit of you over here. So you work at WFMJ now, internship. You're also doing a few other things. Wives is filmer, videographer right there for the football team as well. Besides that, during your, I guess, 5 weeks, I would say you're at Giant Eagle right there. Make sure all the stocks are shelved.
I still do Giant Eagle 2 days a week, actually. Sunday mornings and Thursday nights.
There's Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Is it hard Thursday nights?
No, not really. I only work 4 to 8 usually. I'm over in curbside. I just carry out the orders.
Oh, really?
At night.
You don't actually stock anything in the store or anything like that. You're mostly just on the curb.
We're actually not allowed to stock anything.
Really?
They leave it for the night crew guys because I guess they were throwing a fit because some stuff is in the wrong spot or whatever.
Really?
I won't expose them too much though. I'm just saying though that's kind of how it happened.
So so you're telling me no one, but what's the point of having workers that usually stock stuff now? Because when I worked all that retail stuff, we were stockers. We stocked stuff at Rulli Brothers. You know what I mean? We did all that blocking, make it look pretty. So you're telling me now, how do they do that if you can't stock anything?
I don't work in groceries, so I'm not 100% sure how the department works. And I just know that they'll spend most of the day blocking the store, pulling everything forward.
Yeah.
And they'll break down the truck, put it on rails and stuff, and work some back stock. But they don't pull the rails out onto the floor and work them.
They don't.
Mm-hmm.
So what do they do then?
They block the store after they're done breaking it all down, pretty much.
Okay. I mean,
and then they leave it for the night crew to do it.
Night crew.
Yeah.
What's a night crew usually go to? Probably 5 to 11.
9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Oh,
Yeah,
You see, that's why Rolling Rose won't work, we were all out of there by like 9, you know what I mean? 8:30, 9 or something like that, they closed the store right after that. We never had any night crew, I would not like to be a night crew person.
I mean, yeah, neither would I, I can't go to parties or anything, you
No,
know?
well, you're a partner, I'm talking like just keeping yourself awake during that time, that's
Yeah.
gotta be like really difficult.
Mhm.
You know what I mean, yeah, you're missing on the party, you're probably missing a couple days with some beautiful women, you know what I mean, but,
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but at the same time, it's just, you probably gotta have like 3 cups of coffee or something like that, just to get through that whole night shift.
mhm.
And how about WFMJ? Because you've been having a lot of fun with that. I know you were with our YSN crew for a little bit.
Well, I'm coming back to YSN after the
Yeah,
internship,
yeah,
possibly,
possibly.
but I'm having a lot of fun with WFMJ so far, it's something I actually enjoy doing.
What made you wanna, guess, go to WFMJ instead of staying broadcasting the local games like through the headset and mic?
Sorry, what?
What made you want to, I just could say do some video for FMJ instead of say broadcast the games on YSN?
Oh, yeah, so I do wanna be long-term, like when everyone go, I wanna be on-air talent.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I've learned that if you wanna have a better chance at getting that type of job for those bigger networks, you have to know how to do everything.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
They always told you that like YSU with their sports broadcasting stuff too.
Yeah, so that's why I've been kind of focused on being behind the camera so far, like this semester, working with the football team, and then also I'm doing a WFMJ.
You know, the football team was really nice to work at. I mean, I worked for them for 2 seasons. You get to know a lot of the guys, a lot of the players too.
Yeah, Coach Phillips is pretty cool. I love working with Fredo.
I've been trying to get Coach Phillips on the podcast for a while. Fredo's coming on in the future. Look, Fredo's my boy, so you know he's gonna be coming on, giving him all his stories.
Yeah,
He has the best stories to tell by all means, stuff like that. One of the best guys.
yeah.
So you said also that you worked for the YC football team, or work for them now currently. You recently went to Lexington, Kentucky, to watch the Wildcats play the Penguins. I know it probably wasn't the experience with that loss, but I mean, it was close the first quarter, nothing, tie ball game.
I mean, it's an FCS school versus an FBS school, like.
And the SEC, mind you, like it's not
Yeah.
like the face against a Mac.
Like, when's the last time an FCS school won? Like 2008, Michigan versus Appalachian State?
They've won more, but I'm talking about, if you're talking like big, actually, North Dakota State, I think they beat like Kansas State when they were ranked like 5th or something.
Oh, really?
They were ranked pretty high. It was like 7 years ago though.
I just know Michigan Appalachian State's like the big one though for
Oh,
upsets
well,
like that.
That was the first one that basically said, hey, FCS schools can beat the FBS, you know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure Appalachian State actually moved up to the FBS at that time. Yeah.
They moved up, I wanna say in 2013, so like a few years after.
Few years, okay.
Yeah, a few years after. I just think they do that because of money. They get a lot of money, especially in
Oh,
athletics,
yeah.
that they can like decide to move up whenever they want to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, those smaller schools, they get paid big for playing games like that.
Yeah, I mean, look how much Kent State's making, for example. I mean, they played with Washington, Oklahoma,
Georgia. They kept it close with Georgia.
They did, yeah. I mean, but look how much money they're making off it.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, it's not so much like, hey, we don't know if we could really compete with these guys. They competed well against Georgia, I'd say. It's more of, hey, we get good money for this. We can maybe get our campus going. I mean, that's how YSU really has the Watt Center and all that. They played all those bigger teams like Pitt, Penn State, Ohio State,
Michigan State.
Yeah, Michigan. Well, I wouldn't even say Michigan State because the Watt Center was already built.
Yeah, that's true.
But now with like also the soccer field and all that stuff for the athletics, it really looks good. Problem is with the whole university now is that they're cutting back on classes, which is really hurting them a bit.
Yeah, I haven't like looked at too much into it, like what class is being taken out exactly.
So there was actually a list I found, and it's like a rumored list, but I found apparently there's some stuff like some businesses being taken out. I heard one of them could be taken out of the communications department, actually. So like your telecommunications and all that stuff. So all the memories that you remember of Fred Owens, you might have put those in an archive or something.
He's retired though.
He is retired, but still, we need an archive for that man.
Yeah.
We need to build a statue outside of Youngstown Stadium first.
That fedora is iconic.
But what's it like right now being a student at YSU so far? You know, senior year and stuff like that. I think it's your last semester, right? Or
I have the spring.
Go back to the spring.
Yeah.
But 2 more. I imagine maybe it's not as hectic as like your first couple of years were.
No, not really. I mean, I have my internship, which that's the class, and then 3 other classes. So it's really not that bad. I'm not worried about the schoolwork. I'm more worried about actual work. That's kind of what my energy's towards.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna do good, like in my other classes. That's not what I'm worried about.
Yeah, I'd imagine you're doing fine in all your other classes too.
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like with college in a way, people say college is a scam, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, not
There's
for
nothing
everybody.
wrong with that.
No, and I don't think it is a scam. I mean, some parts probably is. My parts is when you're taking those gen ed courses where you're not gonna learn anything.
Yeah,
with your
exactly.
major, like in the future, you know what I mean?
That's the one thing I liked about my major. We only had to take one math class.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we had to actually. No, I thought we had to take, or I think we had to take like two, I don't know.
I only had to take one. That was quantitative reasoning.
Really? Did
Yeah.
you take it online? Cause I took mine online.
It was actually during like when COVID first started. So at first it was in person, all that, but then everything switched to all online.
Yeah, no, it was an online thing where we used to so our teacher put everything in like a Word doc and he would just send us it. And the thing is, he would just send the formulas. All you would do is like copy and paste the formulas and like put all the answers. And it was like, you immediately get like a 10 out of 10 every time.
Yeah,
That's just for not like trying in a way.
yeah,
They were just wanting you to get the hell out, I feel like.
yeah.
Talk about a little more though about your internship. You know, I imagine it's pretty fun. You go Friday night games. You get to also like travel during it too. Like you go in a car ride, you go to one stadium, then you go to the next stadium, I imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Actually, Saturday, me and Dante from WFJ, shout out Dante. We did Cheney versus Ursuline, and that was an
That was a
amazing game.
nail biter. You know, I didn't call that game, but I was there as a fan. Woo, nail biter. And I say this about the game, Cheney, they lost that game themselves.
I feel like there was bad officiating in that game, both ways. I feel like Cheney was on the shorter end of that,
I
unfortunately.
felt like Cheney could have won it, but they went off sides too much. Literally every play, a player jumped.
You could tell like they kind of sort of got gas at the end.
They were undisciplined is the problem.
I mean, 2 of their touchdowns came off of kick returns.
Yeah. I mean, they looked just a little more undisciplined in that game than what you saw for Cheney this whole season. And Ursuline, in a way, they pretty much won that game because Christian Lynch, first of all, but they also won the game off of Cheney's mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, we got there like at the start of the second quarter. I believe it was like 8-7 by then.
Did you have trouble at all with parking? Because let me just tell you, parking was tough when we went.
Oh, here's a story for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
So we didn't have trouble parking, right? It was getting out that was the issue. Like the whole city of Youngstown was at that game, it felt like. So getting out was a pain. There was a guy in front of us, like as we were pulling out, he kept backing up, which it forced us to keep backing up, and we accidentally kind of scratched someone else's car.
Oh, really?
Like leaving. Yeah, I mean it was all good, it was an accident. The damage wasn't too bad.
So what did the guy find out that you guys were
Yeah. Oh yeah, he knew.
Was he pissed?
I mean, I was kind of in the car. Dante was kind of dealing with that because he was driving. I was busy just trying to like get the scripts done.
Yeah.
So that they can
For Dana and all those other guys. And then all of a sudden you just heard a scratch through.
Well, I didn't hear anything. Dante just saw it and he started.
Oh,
I mean, it was intense, but it's not Dante's fault though.
No, but at the same time though, it's like, why do you have that game at Rand? I mean, why is he?
That's what I was confused
Why
about.
is he on the bye?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand, Cheney's, home and stuff like that, but you can fit so many people in Stanmore Stadium with a game like that.
I know, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, I know it's not really, it's a college stadium, not meant for high school really, but like you can fit how many people? Capacity for that stadium holds about 1,000 maybe? 2,000.
Which stadium, Rand?
Yeah, Rand. You can fit immediately 2,000 and get even more with.
There was easily thousands of people there.
Oh, big time. We walked in, there was like a whole line waiting for the tickets and all that stuff. I mean, it was unreal. What did you think about just that atmosphere though? Like, again, new turf at Rand Stadium, it looked nice, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a pretty nice looking field. The only thing I didn't like is how there were only stands on one side of the stadium.
Yeah,
and then the other side was just a bunch of nothing.
Eric, it's been like that for about 10 years now. Ever since they.
That was my first time at that stadium though.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't see it way back in the day when it was just like the grassy field and all that. Well, it was kind of messy, but funny thing is, the first time actually when East decided to play back at Rand Stadium against Ursuline, that game was even more packed than what you saw Saturday night there. I mean, it was because it was his first game back. You couldn't even get a line. Heck, you couldn't even get use the bathroom. I remember anything.
Yeah, I know. Me and Dante tried going to concession at halftime, but after we got up there, we saw a big line. I was like, "You sure you still want to do this?" It's like,
Yeah.
No, let's head back down.
It was good seeing a lot of people I used to know that played for Ursuline that were at that game. You see a lot of people letting you know. Also, there was almost a fight at the end of the student section too at Ursuline.
I heard there were like 3 or 4 fights after, but me and Dom, they kind of got out
I
there
dipped,
fast.
I dipped once like a minute was
Yeah.
left because Ursula won, because I'm trying to get out of the traffic, you know what I mean? I don't wanna stay for high school kids sprawling, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
Who wants to watch that or anything like that?
right.
I mean, I don't know if you remember when they put it on Mahoning Valley Fights. I don't know, do you remember that Instagram?
I remember that account when
Yeah, if that was still around, they would probably put it there.
I was in like 8th grade, maybe a freshman in high school when that was a thing.
Did you ever see one happen with someone record in Struthers? Yeah.
I don't remember if there was a Struthers one or not. It's been so long.
There's been, I think there was a couple of Ursuline ones.
I mean, there have been few big fights at Struthers, but I don't know
Really?
if any made on the account though.
Really, I wouldn't see Struthers as a place where people fight a lot.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Really? So I mean, where I'm at right now, especially like you go to middle schools in Youngstown City and all that, there's fights a lot of times, you know what I mean? Especially outside school, ton of fights.
Mhm.
I wouldn't expect a place like Louisville, Struthers, anywhere like that to really have many fights. Just because, I think those kids, much more behaved, I'd say, like making good choices.
I mean, Struthers for the most part, I mean, most of the kids who go there are pretty, well behaved and all that, but it does have, yeah.
But I just wanna see, I wanna see what happened, what escalated those fights. I know one was because, first of all, here's the story, what happened, it was Saturday, they let the Cheney kids, some Cheney kids came into the Arsenal student section, they're chanting, "You don't go here," and all that stuff. That didn't start it, they were laughing about it. It was at the end, I think one dude got into it with the girl, and then the girl threw a water ball, the dude threw it back. And I think one of the president's, Father Murphy, had to come. Thing is though, Father Murphy, is he a Catholic kid going to take any, accountability for that too? I mean, both are in the wrong, probably not though. So I have to think about it.
Yeah.
So talk about also just everything that's been going on, sports wise for you. What made you want to get into sports broadcasting?
I mean, I've always watched sports as a kid. I think that's how most people who are in my field are. I played football and baseball in high school. Wasn't very good at either. I was a JV All-Star all 4 years of football. But I mean, I got my Letterman jacket at the end of the day, so it's all good. But I know I'm obviously not athletic enough to play past high school, but I still want to kind of like stay involved in it somehow.
Yeah, I think that's how most athletes are, in a way, if you're not gonna make it, but you try and get yourself in the door for a possible like position, either if it's coaching or if it's like videography later on in the future.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to coaching either, honestly.
No, I mean, I think that, coaching around like grade school, high school level would be kind of like a good cup of tea, you know what I mean? College, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
College, you got to, basically, it's a full-time job, you know what I mean? While high school coaching, you can be there, you work your regular job and then you go like after for like an hour.
Yeah.
And you just watch basically what happens, you know what I mean? So I feel like in a way, college coaching is like a lot tougher, and there's a rare occurrence though, where someone like Coach Phillips, where you become like a teacher at West Branch for, like he was for 13 years or something like that, and automatically you're like, next thing you know, the FCS head coach.
I didn't know that about Coach Phillips, honestly.
Well, he wasn't a teacher, he was like some sort of attendant or something like that. But he was at West Branch for like 13 years. So from what I read, because he left coaching for a little bit. He coached for Springfield and Salem.
Didn't know that.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and he turned those programs around. When he comes on, hopefully soon, I'll definitely talk to him about that. Whenever he can, probably gonna be after the season, but.
Yeah, I know they got a big week this week though, playing against North Dakota State, if I'm not mistaken.
How far are you traveling for that game?
No, I only got dropped the Kentucky game just because of seniority. I just started working for the team a few months ago.
Oh, I didn't know if they brought back the vaccination status like last year.
No, I don't think they do that anymore.
No, they kind of screwed me over a couple games, but especially towards the end, stupid rule, by the way.
Very stupid.
Very stupid rule that they made. I could get all into that if I want to, but that's for the media right there and all that.
Yeah.
So in a way, because I guess it talks about that all the time in sports though. People, I guess last year were a lot upset at like these different athletes like Jokovic, Aaron Rodgers in a way, because they didn't want to take a shot and stuff like that. They didn't feel like they were healthy, they were healthy enough. Of course, with older people, they say, hey, let's maybe take it to like your grandparents or your mom or something like that. But to them, it felt like it was healthy. What's your opinion on that?
On the whole situation,
Yeah.
So like, I got it, but I still feel like it's none of anybody else's business whether or not
No,
you
yeah.
got it.
I don't know why do you think people make a huge remark about it?
Virtue signaling,
You think so?
like, oh, I care about my neighbor. I just want. It's like, listen, you can
Yeah.
still spread the virus regardless.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Did you see everyone in the White House has been getting it? Which has been weird.
Yeah, Joe Biden got it. Like he tested
5
positive.
times.
He went positive, negative, and positive, or something like
I
that.
don't know how that works. I don't know how you would go like negative, positive, negative.
Well, there've been a lot of false positives. Well,
Yeah.
I feel like most of the tests are.
I feel like you would have to actually like go to like a really, really big like doctor, kind of like the doctors
Yeah.
that all these like politicians have in order to find out. Because there's no way you're going to get like a home COVID test that's gonna be like real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that could easily be a false positive. I think you have to go to like one of the best doctors if you want like a real
Right.
testing situation. It's like for every vaccine too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would be the change though to like, because it seems like everyone now, it's like, oh, this would be under a rug. Do you think they come back with it?
What do you mean?
Do you think they come back with the whole like vaccine stuff during midterms and all that or what?
I feel like COVID is kind of just about over. I feel like this is kind of like a test one for like something bigger.
Monkeypox, but that didn't work either.
That didn't work either, so it's like,
I don't know, who knows?
yeah.
That depends on what happens though. So where else have you, I guess this is your first year with YZ filming, right? How
Yeah.
did you get into it?
How did I get like into YC film?
Yeah, how did you get into all of it?
My friend Brandon Hulk in my major got me onto it, kind of.
Recommended you?
Yeah.
So I know Brandon, you know,
Yeah.
he asked me about it too, a few of the other guys asked me about it, I'm like, you can text them everyone, here's the contact info. And pretty much, you know, because I was graduating at the time, so I wasn't even gonna be there again. I would like to come back though, like, not even like work film, just work like somewhere else in that communications department, you know what I mean? I feel like I do have a lot more like experience now, especially more communication, especially since I'm a little bit of a teacher too. I feel like it would help be in like that department somewhat. I know some people who work there, but
Right.
it would be cool, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot to learn from it. Don't you think so?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to learn from it.
What else would you say would be the biggest part of working with Pareto and just all those film guys?
The biggest part of it. What do you mean?
The best part.
Oh, the best part. That's tough, honestly. You get to see like what a practice looks like.
Mhm.
Kind of brings me back to when I was in high school, seeing the different drills that they do.
Yeah.
A little bit different at college, but
Super different. You know, and at this point, I just feel like it's a lot. I don't know if to you, but your first time is probably like, what am I gonna do? There's so many spots here compared to like a high school
yeah.
practice where they're all like team all the time, you know what I mean? Were you nervous?
Well, no, that's actually not true.
Well,
At
not
least
team all the
with others.
time.
Yeah.
Well, they individual, then they went team for a little bit, then individual. But I imagine instead of just having to focus on one group, you got focused like on many groups, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Were you a little nervous at first?
Little bit, but
Little bit.
it's actually not that bad. Pretty much just hitting a red button and then going to wherever.
I mean,
Gives you the film.
Did you mess up your first couple times? I know I kind of did a little bit.
Yeah, some occasional I'll actually miss the first play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Occasionally? See, Pareto told me this once. Under that regime, they'll probably give you a little slack, especially if you're new. He told me under Bo Pelini, you'd be chewed out.
Mm.
Or Bo would chew Pareto out and then no, Coach Pelini. That's what he told me.
Yeah.
How else has it been though? Everything been, you know, practice wise, have you been liking what you've been seeing out of the Penguins?
I've liked what I've seen so far. Obviously, they did just play Kentucky, bigger school, you know. I'm not gonna think too much about that. They put up a great game against Tate, and then what's the other team they played?
Duquesne.
Yeah, Duquesne. Jaleel McLaughlin.
What do you think about
The
him? So
truth.
I'm trying to get him on the podcast in the future. What do you think about him? 200 yards almost every single game, it seems like.
He's also a pretty cool person, also.
Oh, no, yeah,
Like
just
we-
talking to him.
Like if you try to hold the door open for me, like, oh no, don't worry about that. It's all good. Like just little things. Like he's just pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, because he's chill about it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess another thing I also like about it is there's a couple kids I went to high school with on the team actually.
Really? Who would that be?
Brandon Serrano, he's a tight end. He plays special teams. He actually blocked the punt last year against Incarnate Ward.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first game of the year last year.
Who else is, do you know from Struthers that's?
And then there's also Keemon Jones.
Demon
I'm gonna be honest, I did not think Keemon would be playing FCS football, like when I first met him.
Why did he think that?
I don't know. I mean, like, I was a pretty small line myself, but Keemon was kind of like a little bit bigger than me, but
Hey, some of these guys bulk up after a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know, because the next time you see someone, they look completely different from when you met them before.
Oh yeah, Keemon definitely glowed up. I remember covering Swiss football. I think it was last year. I think Keemon was still on the team. Actually, yeah, he's great. Yeah.
He's ripped.
Yeah, I don't know how he got to that point, but
Can he squat like Nick Chubb though, is the question.
I'll have to see that. I haven't seen him squat, so
I mean, look, we both go to the YMCA, you know what I mean? Maybe we'll just run into him sometime when he's not working out at the YSU weight room.
I haven't had a chance to go to the Y much because they closed early. I'm getting out of work like really late.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna.
I mean, I still go there occasionally. I've been going to Planet Fitness a little bit more just because the later hours.
You're going to the purple place.
Yeah.
What's better? Okay, YMCA or Planet Fitness?
YMCA is better because they have the free weights like for bench press and stuff like that. And plus the people there aren't nearly as rude.
Really? How many people, what do you mean by rude, like in Planet Fitness? Are you talking like workers or just?
No, not workers are fine. I'm talking like the people that go there.
Really?
They act entitled to hog equipment.
Oh, for
like the 50-pound curl barbell. You know what those are?
Yeah.
It's always gone every time I go there.
Really?
It's never there. Like
I feel like bigger weight rooms are a problem. I feel like in a way, especially you go really if you ever went to like the rec center or YSU, it's a huge problem because you gotta go like the right time. You gotta go when classes aren't going. You gotta go to like a smaller gym like downtown Y or something, or Boardman Y even.
I couldn't do the rec center at YSU probably because they made you wear a mask while you were lifting. And it's really not just the mask itself, it's just like, dude, I'm working out.
So
I'm over here breaking a sweat, like I need to breathe.
In a way, you got no connections, is the thing. If you know like, well, you know Brandon, so Brandon and Pat, I would go sometimes because pull my mask down the whole time, and if they're walking around, they know me, they're cool with it. As long as like no other supervisor comes, that they're brushing to the side over
Well,
there.
no, they wouldn't say anything to me. Whoever else works there. I mean, I'm not blaming them. It's their job. They're just trying to.
They probably don't even want. They probably didn't even want that in the first place.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, but that was 2020. I just felt even beforehand, like you needed to go to like more of a private gym. Like when all that was going around the YMCA, I went there. All you had to do really, it was weird too. You had to wear a mask walking in. If your temp's fine, you could just take it off and just go.
That's how it was.
And I also never understood that because if you're still fine, it's like why even walk in with one?
Right, exactly.
In the first place, though. I don't know if you wasn't my first time actually. It was during that whole COVID season at YMCA. You want to know a funny story? So this was before they announced the spring season, like a Saturday of.
Right.
Prego didn't text me or anything, so I'm going right there. I'm thinking, gonna get some practice in. There's no one there. Literally, the whole parking lot's empty. I'm like, Dave, what's going on? Everybody's like, oh, I forgot to tell you. Season's canceled until the spring. I'm like, what?
The spring.
Until the spring. I'm like,
yeah.
So what's going on over there? That was a weird time, I remember. But it was also fun. I mean, you said you traveled to Kentucky. I traveled to Fargo, South Dakota states, Missouri states. I think there was Western Illinois too. Western Illinois was also the worst hotel, I feel like.
Do you think?
It just wasn't like the best.
The Kentucky hotel I thought was pretty good.
Really? What did they have? I mean, like how was like super good, do you think?
Super good. I mean, the rooms were pretty big. Two TVs, 2 beds, a couch, decent sized bathroom.
And I don't know how big East Lansing's was.
It was 5 floors.
5 floors?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually pretty sweet.
You're on the top floor?
On the top. I don't remember. East Lansing's was pretty big, I remember. Did you guys go out to the town at all or what?
I had to stay home. I'm not even 21 yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they kind of were just like, we're going, no, it was like Brandon and Noah Rex.
I didn't know.
I mean, pretty cool, but you know, they're my friends and all.
Yeah, I didn't know Noah went downtown.
Yeah, neither did I, but he does.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. See, I stopped going like downtown and all that stuff, but we went to East Lansing. Funny story, actually, and you know, my parents are probably gonna watch this in the future. Who cares, honestly? But
you only live once.
You only live once, exactly. Yeah. But funny story about us that we were going. I actually got called to go by, I'm not gonna name him, former wrestling player. He's actually now in like Eric Hughes communications. He's on the field. You might have seen him. He's Little beard, he's pretty crazy. He threw a football one time off one of the cheerleaders, football through the stands. First name Mo, that's all I'm gonna say. Him, former equipment guy. I'm not gonna say as well, last name Birdie, I'll just put that as a hint. A few other guys, we went out of town, I didn't even wanna go out, we go out of town. First things first, sometimes I have a little anxiety going on, I don't know what it is, just the tension.
Yeah.
So, I basically go into this dirtiest bathroom, I blow it up, simple as that. That's,
It'd be like that sometimes.
that's the first part. Then when we're about to leave, because our Uber's here, first of all, I don't even know if I paid the man, like not the Uber, I paid my partner. And then all of a sudden, this girl's like dancing on me when we're about to go out, somewhat. And she's pretty attractive, then all of a sudden we just start making out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden a big ass fight starts. All in the midst of 10 seconds. I nearly missed my Uber because this fight takes out on his last and goes right outside too. So I nearly missed the Uber. The Uber's about to leave. I'm trying to race after it. Birdie saw the man stop. Luckily he did. But I don't know. I don't think you. Oh man, if you were downtown at Lexington, Kentucky, it was probably worse than that. It'd be great, but also worse than that experience.
Yeah, of course I didn't get to go downtown. I kind of just stayed in the room the whole night watching YouTube.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying in the room because I wanted to do that first, but they made me go out. I didn't even think I was allowed to go out. But then Prado went out that night too. So.
I was supposed to meet with my one friend who works with me at Giant Loser marching band, shout out to Nick, but they stayed in a hotel in Cincinnati. Like they didn't even get to Cincinnati until like late at night.
Really?
Yeah.
What, did they just leave earlier?
They left a lot later. Like they didn't leave until like we were in Cincinnati. The football guys were. The band kids didn't leave until then.
Really? Well,
yeah.
Oh, so you haven't been on the plane rides yet, have you?
No, I probably won't get a chance to. I'm only going to the one road game this year.
Which one's that? Kentucky? Or?
Yeah, well, I already went to my only road game.
Oh, you're not going to any other road games?
Nah, seniority.
Honestly, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I think
it probably works out better for me, just because of my busy schedule with my other jobs at school.
And all that.
Yeah.
I thought honestly, the plane rides are. I like the plane rides a lot better, especially during COVID where it was conference only. It was just a lot better. Yes, you don't like wearing a mask, but I'm more of a plane. I'd say more of a plane ride type of guy because I don't feel like I'm as dizzy or something. There's a difference between flying high and in a bus for like 5 hours, especially going all the way to East Lansing. You just feel sore afterwards compared to like where you're only 2 hours, hour and a half on a plane. It was like I just felt sore. I felt tired. I felt like dizzy. Like where the hell am I even at right now?
I've been on a plane since I was little.
Oh, that's how I was until the whole East Lansing stuff. What else? I want to talk about this too as well. So FNJ, of course, high school football season. Are you doing before your internship events? Are you doing like any YSU football? Like basketball and stuff like that.
What do you mean?
Filming YSU basketball for FNJ, giving highlights to them.
We'll cross that bridge when we come. I'm not sure what lays I have like down
that road.
Yeah, that's what I meant, but we'll see. But I'm doing high school football.
Doing high school football right now. What has been the best high school football game you've seen so far?
Cheney Ursuline.
Second best?
Second best, I'm trying to think. I've only done this weekend a few weekends before that. But I guess I'll go with Jackson Milton versus Western Reserve. Yeah, Jackson Milton Western Reserve from a couple weeks ago.
I broadcasted Jackson Milton week 3 it was because I also had like a cancellation. They scheduled the team last second.
Yeah.
They looked pretty good. Their quarterback had like 5 touchdowns a week before. He threw decently. They got a blowout win against LeBray. Schiavi, I think his name was a pretty good quarterback.
Schiavi,
yeah. But I was surprised when they only won by 1 point against Western Reserve. I was really surprised.
Yeah, we got there start of the second half, and Western Reserve was up going into the half, and there were 3 or 4 minutes left to look like they were going to win the game, but then they throw a pick.
Yeah.
Jacksonville comes down the field, they score. Then Western Reserve, they throw another pick, and then
it's
Jacksonville.
I don't know if you know about this. It's really showing some high school football teams right now. Though a lot of them don't know if they're going to finish their season just because of low numbers. Latonia and Sebring are 2 of the teams right there. They've just been struggling a bit.
Yeah, actually, before we went to St. Ursula, we saw Latonia play Valley Christian up in Camel, and it was 21-0 halfway through the first, right before we left. We got some good highlights.
Yeah, Tyler Christian, like, I didn't even realize a lot of the players are from the basketball team too. All the, like, so
Yeah,
a lot
all
of
those names
players-
are familiar.
Yeah, they're all from the basketball, Valley Christian team, pretty much, right there, and they're athletes. Let me just tell you that right now. The toughest opponent's gonna be Southern in like 2 weeks, but.
Yeah.
I mean, so I guess a little more off the topic of the sports that we talked about. I love your fancy name, Hustler University. You know, I tried to get there before. I tried to go on Hustler University before, but they said I need to be more like Andrew Tate. So I had to somehow go through Andrew Tate mindset, what Andrew Tate does over here.
You tried going to Hustle University?
Hustler University, yeah. I mean, sometimes I want to figure it out, see what it is. I mean,
I'm not really a believer in Hustle University
No.
personally. That's kind of just like a troll thing that I
no,
do.
I can't.
Yeah.
But there's actually been people who've paid for Hustler University. I don't know if you know that.
I heard it's just a Discord server.
Really? I mean, there's like videos apparently of like Andrew Tate basically with PowerPoints and him talking about just how to be a man.
Yeah, Andrew Tate's quite a character.
What's your opinion on Andrew Tate? You know, people say he's like the modernization of like bringing back masculinity in men. He has some facts. I don't know if they're all like that though.
I don't agree with everything he says, but there is some stuff that just kind of makes you think, I guess. Like, for example, I shared this on my Instagram story the other day, how it's harder for men to like find love.
Really?
With girls, it's a little bit different because girls, you know, whenever they're feeling love, they can just go and flirt with whoever they want to. Guys, a little bit different.
How's it different for guys than it is with girls, would you say?
I don't know. Girls are just naturally like more flirty, I guess. Like that's if you kind of know where I'm going.
Yeah, so do you believe in the one meme? Because I mean, it relates a little bit to the Andrew Tate stuff where it says, I don't know if you've seen the flirting versus harassment meme. Where
No,
it's
I
like-
didn't see it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Well, one says it's like a kind of like you, a muscular guy and stuff like that. Good jawline stuff, sunglasses on.
Yeah.
He's like, that sure looks good on you. And then it goes to the one guy, fatter, puffier face and all that. And he's,
Yeah.
you know, it looks like he's a criminal because of it looks like he had went to jail, the county jail, and took a picture of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that sure looks good on you. It says harassment on the other. And do you believe in like the flirting versus harassment part of it?
Yeah, I
You
do.
do?
Mhm.
What do you believe in it?
It's hard to explain.
Oh,
You
explain it
just
best you
kind of
can.
like
Spark Notes version.
the flirting versus harassment.
Yeah.
So like, I really am drawing a blank right now.
Yeah. So I've been in, I mean, you've probably been in more relationships than I've been. I've only been in one. So it's like,
Oh, I've only been in like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
It's all good.
yeah, no, I've only been in like one.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I mean, there's honestly, because it's, I just use that a lot harder to find it. I watch a lot of videos where they say, you know, social media has played a huge impact
Yeah.
for, I want to say, a good number of years, like 7 years now, I want to say, and even worse now compared to what it is because they all use the pronouns he, her, it, they. Like we're back over here with person,
Attack
place,
helicopter.
yeah, person, place, or thing. Didn't know we're back in the first grade with all that. I
Yeah.
feel like, I don't know, because do you believe where it's like now if you don't have pronouns like that, people are gonna automatically like, girls especially will like reject you in a way?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I haven't really looked too deep into that, but yeah, the way society kind of is now, pronouns are a big thing.
How do you think it became like all that stuff, like pronouns, they want more girly men, feminine men compared to like a masculinity guy, like,
Yeah.
I wanna say The Rock or, I mean, I don't know if I would even consider Andrew Tate, because he dresses a little feminine. He talks, you know, he talks masculine and he's, you know, he's a wide load, he's built, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the stuff he says and the way he dresses, it's not screaming a masculine man compared to like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, compared to John Cena, I guess, compared to Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know what I mean? I don't know if I don't know if you've seen like all those videos like How Beast and all that stuff, all those other dating wise advice videos. Most of them are, you know, ripped and stuff like that. But you also gotta look at, okay, well, they say, hey, do your hair correctly. Well, if you don't have hair like me.
Right.
Yeah, well, actually I do have hair. I
You
just,
still got facial hair.
yeah, I don't wanna grow it out because it'll look ugly to grow it out. I'd rather have a trim like this anyways. I mean, what's your opinion on all that stuff? Just what's been going, just with the dating and stuff like that, how harder is it compared to like what it was back then, do you think?
I just know that like whenever a man tries to like flirt with a girl, unless the guy looks like a 10, it's
Right.
considered weird and it's harassment.
Really? So what if the guy's a 9.5? a 9.5.
Okay, all right, then yeah, that's fine too.
You think so?
But like for like any female though, like in terms of looks, you could be like average, but like you could go flirt with any guy you want.
Yeah.
It's not considered weird.
Well, why is it the tables have turned if you're like that to like a girl who's maybe doesn't look as pretty or doesn't take care of herself? Why is that considered like a crime then in a way?
I don't know. Like you said, social media has a big impact on like the way we kind of think. How like you have to like look a certain way in order to be.
Do you think it's big tech to blame for all that stuff, or do you think it's more of the people on social media?
I think it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I think it's also like kind of like the companies too, like Victoria's Secret and all them,
Yeah.
who kind of like advertise. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, well, yeah. But I feel like in a way, if you're like not really an attractive woman or even attractive man wearing stuff that's like that, people are gonna call you out for being different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes, one time downtown I wore a suit for crying out loud, trying to be different, stuff like that, and it didn't end well.
Oh, I go to the gym sometimes. I wear short shorts.
Short shorts,
Yeah.
like what, sweat shorts in a way?
Kind
I
of.
wouldn't wear that in the gym. I just wear anything.
I gotta
like
show off
a-
the tree trunks when I'm there.
I just wear, I have shorter shorts, not like this, but I have like some Adidas ones, or about this, maybe a little shorter that I wear. I have that. What else do I have? I have some Ursa shorts that are kind of like that. Then I have like longer basketball shorts, but those are like baggy, you know what I mean? I just do it because I want to feel comfortable on like the bench or something I'm sitting on. That's the only reason why I'll maybe wear like a little more shorter shorts compared to what else is there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? What else have you like, going back to Andrew Tate, I guess a little bit. Do you think you said you don't agree, what do you agree with him on? Do you think?
What do I agree with them on?
Yeah.
Like I said, I agree with him about how it's harder for men to find love than it is for women. How men are better at some stuff than women are. And the opposite is true also. Women are better at some stuff than men are.
What don't you agree with him on? Probably his takes, I'd imagine. Just about like, he's a little misogynist.
All right, yeah, it kind of is like old world view about kind of like how women are supposed to be property of men.
Yeah.
That men kind of like, I don't agree with all that.
And I've said that to a lot of people, that I agree with some stuff he said, you know what I mean, about it, but I disagree when he's talking about women with like badly, and especially like those videos of him like, hitting women, all of the women have come out and say, oh, it's not, no, he was hitting them. Like,
I don't think like the intentions are bad. I just feel like you still can't really.
Yeah, well, in a way, I say that, but they all call me misogynist and all that stuff, because it's like, I'm just agreeing with one, I agree with this worldview about one thing, that he knows right away, with the election and all that stuff, he knows right away how America's a failure right now, even though he's not even from America. He knows right away that they have electric cars, that it's gonna be big in California because they're gonna try and power you off from going places.
Yeah, you see, they want to outlaw gasoline cars
Yeah.
by 2030, I believe it is.
Yeah,
Now they're like begging people to not charge their cars as much.
yeah, but what's gonna be the point of it? The problem,
Yeah.
so which one is it gonna be? Are you, next thing you know, they're gonna ban bicycles?
I think they want to be able to like shut your car on and off whenever they want to.
Think
I
so?
think that plays a bit of a role.
Do you think they do that with gasoline cars too, in a way, or just electric?
I think it's easier to do with electric. I don't
Electric.
really see I can do it with a gasoline car.
Not gasoline, just electric, you think? Speaking of electric cars, I even saw this, Elon Musk, of course, apparently that whole bid, did that go through the 44 billion? They were talking about it, actually.
I haven't paid attention to that as much over the last few months.
They said something.
I just know that the latest I know is that he backed out of it because there were too many bots on Twitter, which
Yeah.
there are.
Every social media spot, so you look at it.
Twitter is out of control.
Yeah, well, especially Twitter. But I don't know if they're trying to force him to buy it now, but the problem is, it seems like everyone's against him. Even Donald Trump is against him too, it seems like too. I don't know. What do you think about Elon Musk in a way?
I do appreciate how like he's kind of like sticking up for free speech by the attempt to buy Twitter and all that, and now with the electric cars thing, like all these other places, like these governors, they're trying to like mandate electric cars.
Yeah.
Elon Musk isn't trying to make everybody drive one. He's just trying to. That's kind of his alternative.
Well, he's been in the business for years, that's why. He was the first one really in the whole electric car business that made it.
Now, that being said, he does have a lot of money. He's the richest man, if I'm not mistaken.
He can buy any NFL team he wants. He can buy all 32 if he wants.
Which, I mean, that's dangerous in and of itself.
Yeah.
He wants to put chips in people's brains.
You think so? I don't.
He's said that before. He wants to put chips in people's
He
brains.
wouldn't do that though, I feel like. I mean, how would you put someone's chip in how would you do that? I mean, first of all, how would you get the opportunity to put a chip in the whole population's brain in the world? There's billions.
Well, he said he wants to make it voluntary,
Voluntary.
but still, even nonetheless, that's kind of like.
You think you would mandate it? No, you don't think so?
I don't think Elon Musk is making the mandates or anything like that.
No, you're not. I think politicians are making the mandates, so
Yeah.
that's for sure. Not, and both sides are, I'm just gonna say it right now.
Yeah.
You know, you can disagree with me on that if you want, but
No, I agree with you.
yeah,
With liberals, it's obviously like the masks and the vaccines,
Yeah.
and then conservatives, they want to like outlaw abortion
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
yeah. I just feel like in a way, I mean, the abortion thing, you know, again, they're trying to outlaw it fully. I think there should be stuff like if someone assaulted you and it happened, there should be stuff where you should get an
Oh
abortion.
yeah, like stuff like that, like
Yeah.
if you're raped or your own personal health is
Yeah.
actually a risk, and I agree, yeah.
But
I get it, but like,
yeah,
it's like the woman who like get pregnant like every 2 weeks and
Yeah.
like always. Like they're just getting passed around like a blunt and they
Yeah.
have to go get an abortion every few weeks, like that shouldn't be allowed, man.
and I don't know, I don't know if you know this, I mean, people want DeSantis to be running for 24 now, most of the Republican primaries, the Republican parties. Who do you think it's DeSantis or Trump if you had to pick one?
I think it's.
I think DeSantis, honestly. I don't,
Are you saying that's who you think's gonna win or who you?
well, I think who would you have?
That's actually a tough one.
People are
Don't get me
voting-
wrong, I'm voting for either over Joe,
Yeah,
no matter who it is.
100%.
But
Everyone
I'm-
wants to show.
I could be mistaken, I think DeSantis said though that if Trump's running, he's not gonna run.
I don't know, because I feel like he would still
And
run.
Trump is definitely running.
Yeah, I
He
feel
hasn't
like,
made it official, but
I feel like DeSantis would still run in a way. You know, look, Trump did really good his 3 years, his fourth year was a mess, you know what I mean? His fourth year, he didn't really do that well, I'm gonna be honest right there. Especially when he was going up against COVID, hurt him, the whole vaccine thing, the capital thing.
yeah,
Afterwards, I feel like you need a new, fresh Republican Party in there, that's where Ron DeSantis comes in. He's more forceful than Donald Trump is. I feel like he doesn't back down. Trump backed down a little too much, especially in
the
that
big
last
pharma, yes, I agree.
Yeah, big
He
pharma,
definitely caved in.
big pharma, big tech. He basically folded up too. I feel like DeSantis wouldn't do any of that. He would actually fight the whole way through.
Yeah, I do see your compliment about DeSantis, but I mean, I don't know, Donald Trump, like, he accomplished so much though throughout that entire
Yeah.
presidency. If you don't like what he did the last year, I completely understand.
Yeah.
But like, his policies were working. You can
They
say
were,
what you
yeah.
want about, oh, he tweets mean things, you
No,
know.
no one cares about that.
Yeah, it's like
Awesome stuff.
he got stuff done.
I mean, he didn't act presidential, but that was what was different about him. You know, I mean, people wanna, please the guy, stuff like that. No, he didn't care. That was the thing. I just think it's last year, he folded and everything that's happened and, you know, ruined him.
No, it's the corporate lifelong bureaucrats like
Yeah.
Joe Biden, I feel like, who are a bigger danger than the people who don't have as much.
Yeah, but-
experience.
Yeah, but it's weird how the networks will also hate on him, like, you know, CNN, MSNBC, like, not Trump, they'll hate on Biden now. But yet they'll also try and cancel anyone else who hates on him. It's like, what's the difference between you hating on him and someone else hating on him?
Well, I don't think it's so much that. I think it's just like they want to cancel people who like Trump. Because I think CNN's now starting acknowledging like you can't really cover up much of what Biden's doing anymore because he's doing such a bad job.
Yeah. And he's spewing all of it too. I mean, did you hear what I said? I was 30, she was 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And people say, oh, it's taken out of context. How? You know what I mean? You gotta explain how it is in a way.
Yeah, I'm not saying Trump's a perfect human being either.
No.
He's obviously done his fair share of stuff.
I mean, the Epstein case, people will say, oh, he banned Epstein when he knew he doing all that stuff. I feel like,
He did though.
yeah, I feel like though it wasn't, for a while he was in on it, but you know what though, you know who was still on it though when Trump backed up? Bill Clinton.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But they won't say that though, is the problem.
Right.
Bill Clinton should be behind bars, but he's not.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, the only thing good about Bill Clinton, he's a big fan of Wedgwood pizza.
Of what?
Wedgwood pizza.
He is?
Yeah, he actually had some actually.
When?
Back then. I mean,
Ah.
it was actually during the whole first election, 16, when Trump was winning. Because, you know, Hillary was running too, so
Yeah.
the Clintons, there's a picture of them actually, because, you know, my, the Wedgwood people over there, really big Republicans, my mom knows some good friends, RP Fernando. But there's a picture of them with Wedgwood pizza. I don't know where they were too. It didn't look like it was a local place. It looked like it looked New York, which is weird because I don't think there's new Whitewood in New York.
I think White was only here.
Yeah,
I could be wrong about that, but
yeah, it's only in these areas in Columbus.
Hmm.
That's
oh, in Columbus too.
Mhm.
I thought it was just like a Youngstown thing.
no, they have one actually. They have one in Columbus now.
That's crazy.
It's a little newer, 3 years. I guess on that topic, what's your favorite Youngstown pizza?
We were actually just discussing that WFMJ
Really?
at the Cheney Ursling game. Um, let's see. There's Bellaria. I'm trying to think right now. My favorite one. There's Bellaria. There's that place downtown Avalon.
Yeah.
There's Elton and Struthers. Love Elton.
I never had Hampton.
Never had Elton?
No.
Oh, Elton's great, man. They make you eat. They put the peppers on the pizza, whether or not you like it. But I mean, I love peppers, so it's not a big
I
deal
like
for me.
peppers, yeah.
Elton's great, but it makes you run to the bathroom, man. They have good chicken too.
They do? What
Yeah.
kind? Regular barbecue,
I'm talking like
spicy?
fried.
Oh, fried.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm more of a baked chicken type of guy now. I like fried, but fried makes your stomach hurt.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I'm more, that's why, like, it's weird, because I'll be like, having some stomach, like, not aches, but like, it'll just feel weird if I eat like a fried Chick-fil-A sandwich compared to like today, during my break when I ate a baked one. I didn't feel nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but to answer your question, I'm gonna go with Elton as my
Elton.
favorite Youngstown pizza.
You ever had like Uptown, Bellaria, anything like that?
I've had Bellaria, the one up in
Yeah.
Youngstown.
Yeah.
I might have had it once or twice, but
Well, it's everywhere,
I usually go to the one Struthers.
really.
One Struthers is pretty good.
I see. I mean, I can't beat any good Youngstown pizza. Let me just tell you
Right.
that right now. It's
Exactly.
probably one of the best pizzas that you have to have. For
Coco's.
Cocos? Yeah, I never had Cocos actually.
Never had
How
Coco's.
good is Cocos?
They're inconsistent in my opinion. Like
Inconsistent.
when they're at their best, as great as any pizza around here.
Really?
But sometimes you get it's kind of dead.
Really? It's a hit or miss thing.
Yeah.
What's the best? Is it Canfield or Mormon the best Cocos? What do you say?
Well, I usually go to the one in Poland actually.
Poland. Oh, Poland has one too.
Yeah, they opened that a while ago.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. So that's probably the best one that you've been at so far.
I had the Borman when I was little. I don't remember too much about it though.
Because they have a few now. They're actually a good sponsorship. You know, what I mean, I've invited so many like sports guys on stuff like that. That you know, sometimes like I'll watch like who I want to bring on though, because you don't know if they're gonna be like a rival. You know, sometimes I think, oh, well, Chad Spency comes on. I don't know if I'd want to do that though. You know what I mean? Just because of just the KPN, even though he is a legendary broadcaster.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you're big on like different rivals coming on like podcasts or anything like that.
Wait, what?
I don't know if you're like big on different people coming on podcasts who maybe like your rival. Have you ever had like, you think like, hey, let them on if they're not affiliated?
I don't really think about that.
Or think about it? So real quick, now that we're gonna be into like, I guess we could say October and all that, high school football's ending.
Yeah.
What's next then after your internship?
Well, WFMJ said that there is a chance maybe I could be back like for an actual job,
Really?
depending how it goes. I did tell YSN that I plan on coming back after the internship is over.
Mhm.
And then after YSU football season's over, I don't know what I'm gonna do after that. But I think I have a lot going for me though. I have
you
my
definitely
options. Yeah.
Definitely do. You know, it's again a little, it's big in sports broadcasting, depending on what happens. You know, it's a lot. You know, getting involved with the local areas here, of course, YSN, of course, but it's harder a little bit too. You have to get your foot in the door, and of course, resumes are the big thing. I know your resume is probably good.
Well, it's gonna look great after the semester, after the internship and everything. Yeah.
Throughout like FMJ and then YSN, because you're gonna have YSU, yeah. Got the broadcast experience too and all that.
Then, for what it's worth, I've been in Jangle for 3 years now. I've shown like longevity at something.
So hey, you got stuff going for you, my man.
Yeah.
What else should we know for the future? What holds the future of Eric Hughes?
I'm gonna call Super Bowl one day.
Okay, Super Bowl. Are the Steelers gonna be in it?
Yeah.
Okay, who's gonna be the quarterback?
Arch Manning.
Arch Manning.
I don't know, I'm just kind of.
I mean, did you see his competition though? Everyone says Michael Jordan played against off-duty firefighters and mall cops. Arch Manning was probably playing against the Sisters of the Poor, and he was playing against probably preschoolers or something.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, the train regiments are a lot better now than they were even when Michael Jordan was playing.
Yeah, I mean, but those guys weren't tackling him. I don't know if you saw the Twitter video where like no one was like tackling him at all. They didn't want nothing to do with Archie Manning.
I wouldn't either.
You
He
want
has
either?
Tate, Eli next to him.
Yeah. So, hey, depends on what
He's
happens.
going to Texas, right?
Yeah, he is. He's actually committed to Texas. You know what I mentioned? Hey, they paid him that good NIL money right there.
Hmm.
I guess before we end off, what's been like your thoughts about the NIL situation?
Yeah, I like it. I think college athletes should be getting paid for what they're
Yeah.
doing, how much money the NCAA is making. They make billions. Players then couldn't even get a penny.
Mhm.
They forced Reggie Bush to give his Heisman back over something stupid.
Yeah. Do you think and in my opinion, with that, they gotta give him his Heisman back.
Easily.
He needs it.
He should have taken it to begin
It's
with.
gonna be probably in the next year or two or so, they give him the Heisman back, I feel like. I mean, look, NCAA football's coming back. I know you've been playing on your PS2 and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've been playing 06 on PS2 and a little bit of 14 on the PS3.
How were you able to play on your PS2? Do you have an HD TV for like the
Wait,
PS2?
what?
You have a high definition TV for the PS2 that you play on, right?
Yeah, it has like the red, yellow, and white cable outlets,
Really?
Yeah,
Huh. That's why I didn't think HD TV nowadays had that.
mine does.
It does? How old is it? Is it like new or is it?
It's newer. I just bought the TV almost a year ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to invest in that because you said the places right in that plaza is still open, right? The where you buy your PS2 and all that stuff. That's
Oh,
still open,
yeah.
right?
No, I didn't buy the TV. I bought the TV at Best Buy,
Okay.
but I'm sure they might have a PS2 at the exchange.
Yeah, I'm talking like, where's that plaza? What's it called? The Exchange, right?
Yeah, they also have one out in Niles, maybe, if I'm
Really?
not mistaken.
It seems
They're
like
all around.
those are like the only two places that have big businesses, I feel like. Everywhere else in the suburbs.
Boardman and Niles, yeah.
There's everywhere else in the suburbs, there's nothing. And I don't know. See, I talked about Luke Paul on this before when he was on the show. I feel like Youngstown needs more business in the city, not the suburbs and like the city somehow.
Yeah,
I'm not saying, you don't have to put them all there, but you need something. Like they have a Metro PCS right by the BMV. Who's gonna go to Metro PCS?
right.
No, especially in that type of town, no. And I think the problem is the city just looks so dirty. Not in this part, of course, our neighborhood, you drove past, it's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, that's a nice
I'm
one.
talking like up more by Circle K, South Side,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? East Side, like you can't have businesses anywhere because there's just so many like so much violence and all that.
South side especially.
South Side, how does someone, I guess, bring back business to Youngstown?
Just do it, I guess.
Be like Struthers, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Struthers has some business.
Yeah, we got business.
So I mean, Youngstown needs to do the same because all these other suburbs are kicking the city's ass right now.
Mhm.
But who knows? Maybe we could bring it back or something like that. But again, Monday Night Football tonight. Who do you think's gonna win?
I'm gonna take the Giants to win.
Take a chance.
Although they're probably still the worst 2-0, 3-0 team of all time,
They're
probably.
probably gonna be 3-0. I mean, hey, if they win all their games by like 3 or 4, then that's all that matters, really.
Yeah.
You can make the playoffs go, what, 10-7, something like that, with all your games being scored just 8 points or more. I mean, you're still in the playoffs at the end of the day.
Yeah.
See what happens though. But I know you probably gotta get going. I want to thank you for coming on, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Of course,
Ask me
always.
again anytime.
Oh, of course, always. I want to thank everyone once again for tuning in. I know I had a little, I had a little bit of a delay because, I mean, hey, it's like busy with work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes, and everyone else is busy with work.
Came here straight from
Yeah,
FMJ.
summer's over. Let's just say that right now. Summer's over.
Mhm.
Fall's coming, winter's coming. Be prepared. But I want to thank everyone once again for coming on to OB Talkwire, episode number 17. Where can they find your social media? All the fans.
Oh, I'm not leaking all that.
You're not looking all that.
No.
All right.
If you find me, bud.
He's a little silent right there. This
Yeah.
guy's a little silent on his info. He doesn't want the boys following him.
My Facebook is friends only.
Friends
You can see
only.
my stuff.
All right. But hey, I want to thank you once again for coming on. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this episode, the OB Talkwire. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna have a special guest, former YSU player personnel directors of operation. Man, I don't know if you know who that is. Cole Peterson.
Okay.
Cole Peterson, recently just coached against his dad actually, because Indiana played Cincinnati. So that's pretty sweet, and he's gonna be on for tomorrow's episode. This episode will probably be uploaded in about 5 days or so. The new one with Pat Sturgeon, former ESPN employee, just ESPN overseas employee, I should say, just was uploaded. So check out that episode if you haven't. But Eric, I want to thank you once again for coming on, my man.
Thank you.
And I will see you all next time here on the OB Talkwire podcast.